Welcome to Soto Clips. We have some amazing shows on the You Dig, and we're going to revisit some moments that were particularly special. Which show was your favorite episode? Let us know in the comments section or email us at thesotoyoudig@gmail.com. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So this is who you're listening to, the guy in the center there. That's Chris Carter.
It's very frightening. I was shocked by the information.
What your reaction was to this, considering how young Aaron Hernandez was?
It's very frightening. I was shocked by the information. I was shocked by the recent study of the 110 former players, 111, 110 of them having some form or advanced stages of CTE.
Now, some of this I might skip through because it's not to the point of where I wanted to capture, but I wanted to capture more about the portion of dreaming bigger than entertainment. And thank you, Mean Waffles. He said he subscribed and he said congratulations. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's hard. 11 kids playing in the NFL today. Football, coached a high school team. We got 11 kids playing in the NFL today. The more than any high school in the nation. I'm talking about.
And I will, Terrion Jones. I'll make sure that Tommy knows to give us a nice little shout out. Actually, they do shout us out though. There are plenty of times where they'll give the You Dig a shout out. People will call in on the phones and they'll be like, "Yeah, I watched the You Dig, or I was on the You Dig, and DJ Just Jam, blah blah blah." Y'all can also shout it out whenever you call in too. Also, so whenever you get on the phone with Tommy, if you call in, get a You Dig a shout out.
Great players: Giovanni Bernard, Geno Atkins, Joey Bosa, Philip Dorsett, James Dewerson. Great men. I would say there is some type of fear. When I was 7 years old, I tried to play football.
Okay, here we go. I think he's going to get into a little bit of his childhood. So at the 2-minute 26 mark.
A doctor changed my birth certificate. Wasn't even old enough. The lady told me, "Son, come back with your mom." I had a pen on my birth certificate and I had changed it. It gives you that opportunity. Without football, discriminate. People in America, for a black man, football gave me a sense of purpose.
Okay, here we go. Wait. This is the part. So this is actually the 2-minute and 44-second mark. I want you guys to make sure and listen to this. I had to make sure and get to that point. I didn't take down my timestamps.
It gave me a sense of, and football gave me a sense of purpose.
He said football gave him a sense of purpose. I want you guys to remember he said that. Thank you, Alabaster Stone. I appreciate that. The more you guys come in and subscribe, it helps us all. Thank you, Brother Eric. Appreciate that.
It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man. But
okay, now that's the part I wanted y'all to hear.
In America for a black man, football gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man. But sports, it gives you that opportunity.
We got 70 people watching. What did you guys hear? What did you guys hear there? That's deep to me. That's deep what he said, just because of his take on it. And you know what? And that brother is living his reality. In his reality, that's the truth. And I definitely want to talk about that and say what I think about it. But it's deep, though. A lot of black people think this. A lot. We're going to replay that a little bit more.
Football gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man.
Well, Revy Guns, he said you said there are plenty of options. Or according to Chris Carter, he's speaking to the youth in the ghettos in the hood, and he's saying there are not a lot of options. What are all these options we have? Great question, Hitman J. I have answers for your questions. Because believe me when I tell you, I would not talk about this topic if I didn't actually have answers for you. So I think that's a great question, and I would definitely get to that for you.
$5. And football gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of meaning. There's not a whole bunch of options in America for a black man, but sports, it gives you that opportunity.
Now, I want you guys to understand something. I'm going to actually give you guys a little bit of a fact, and I want to see what y'all do with this. Because we can actually do this in football, basketball, almost every sport has statistics. Now, the chances of making an NFL team, you guys look this up. What are your odds of making the pros? That's the chance that a killer asteroid will destroy civilization in the next century, according to Princeton astronomers. High school, I don't know if that was related to that or not, but I read it anyway. High school senior players who go on to play NCAA men's football, about 1 in 17 or 5.8%, NCAA senior players drafted by an NFL team, about 1 in 50 or about 2%. I want you guys to catch that. High school, because first of all, I think it would be good if you start playing football once you're like in middle school to get familiar with the game. Then you go into high school. High school senior players who go on to play NCAA men's football is about 1 in 17 or 5.8%. And that is like your best of the best as far as college high school students. 5.8% or 1 in 17. This is for Hitman J. Now, if you make it through college, then you have a whole nother level. This means the best of the best of the best. NCAA senior players drafted by an NFL team, 1 in 50 or 2% of NCAA senior players drafted by an NFL team is 1 in 50 or 2.0%. And I think there was a point in time when it was actually 1%. So I want you guys to think about that. In high school, 1 in 17 make it to college that are seniors playing football at the highest level of high school football. Then NCAA seniors, if you make it through your freshman, your sophomore, your junior, your senior year, NCAA players drafted by an NFL team, 1 in 50 or 2% of that group. So it's 5.8% of a lower group. And then if you make it to the next group, then it's 2% of that next group. So how realistically can you say that sports is an option when that small of a percentage of people are even chosen to be on a team? And I think, yep, and Keenan said he remembers when it was 1%. And the funny thing about that is that the average NFL career, I believe they say, is 3 years. Let me look that up to make sure. According to the NFL Players Association, the average career, this is why it's so hard to really debate me on things, because you can actually look up what I say. I promise you guys, I challenge you guys to look up what I say. According to the NFL Players Association, the average career length of an NFL career is about 3.3 years. The NFL claims that the average career is about 6 years for players who make a club's opening day roster and their rookie season. So overall, the overall average is 3.3 years. Matter of fact, let's take a look at the average NFL salary. The average NFL salary, on an average, NBA players make $5.15 million per year. MLB players making that on an average 3.2. NHL players make an average of 2.4, and NFL players make an average of $1.9 million per year. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, let me see, NBA, MLB, NHL, NFL, and that's not even counting soccer, because I think soccer gets a pretty good salary too. Out of the top most 4 popular sports in America, the NFL ranks at the bottom when it comes to the amount of money on average that players make on an average NFL salary. That's including your players that make league minimum, and that's including your players that make max dollars. Get what I'm saying? So we're specifically focusing on football right now because that's what Chris Carter is discussing. So when you talk about the average NFL career, how long it is, how much money you make, and you're talking about living a lifetime off of that, and that's supposed to end, generational poverty, I think it's a horrible thing to try to count on entertainment.
People don't discriminate. People don't care what your religion is.
And when you talk about discrimination, you can actually look at the NFL and see how much discrimination goes on when it comes to team ownership, when it goes to management, GM jobs. The majority of those jobs are going to be held by white people. The NFL was made by white people, so I have no problem with that. But there's not a lot of diversity going on when it comes to ownership, management, supervisory roles, when it comes to the NFL commissioners, anything like that. There's not a lot of diversity there. So when we talk about what you should be encouraging your kids to do, even coaching, exactly. I didn't even want to have to go to that lower level, because clearly those are things that you can see on the field every single day. That is not a lot of diversity in coaching. It's just not.
It's a matter of who is the best. So where would my life be without football? I don't know. And I'd hate to think about it. But what football has done for my family.
He's getting choked up and emotional right now. But I'm going to point out something that he said. I'm going to replay it so you guys can hear it.
Family. I'd hate to think about it. But what football, it's a matter of who is the best. So where would my life be without football? I don't know.
Where would his life be without football? He doesn't know. And this is the way that the black community is raising black children? Seriously? Nobody see a problem with that. We got 100 people watching the show. Does anybody not have a problem with what he just said? He doesn't know what his life would be like if not for football. Really? Come on, seriously, guys? And you can end up brain damage for life. One bad hit. Ravi Gunn says he's brain damaged for life. A lot of those players end up brain damaged. A lot of them end up brain damaged before they even get to the NFL. Because colleges, them boys is big. They hit hard. Even high school kids hit hard. Jason Gunn said major problem. Ravi Gunn says I have a problem with it. They're never told to have a contingency plan besides sport. Yes, thank you. Thank you, realist. Thank you, Barry. Sounds like he's selling himself short. Alabaster said this. Thank you. Chris G said that CT ain't no joke. Hell no, it's not. Can't walk, you can't talk, you can't think straight. Eric said, pro players of the beautiful game. The highest paying athletic team in the world is FC Barcelona, and they have an average salary of $8.6 million a year, with each player earning about $166,000 a week. That's soccer. FC Barcelona. I love playing FIFA. I have FIFA 07 because I'm way behind. Y'all don't laugh at me. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. But I got FIFA 07 on my GameCube. Don't tell nobody. But I love soccer. I love soccer. Thank you, Eric, for putting that stat out there. These are stats that you guys can look up on your own. This is what the majority of Black children are learning. Do we not see this as a problem? You know what? It wouldn't even be fair, Eric, to put the soccer game in that statistic. If you look and see how much those dudes make a year, 8.6 million on an average, $166,000 a week. Do you guys know that the league minimum for NBA players is $400,000 a year just to be on the team and ride the bench? Chris Carter, I could look up his age, but Chris Carter's got to be about 50 by now. And he said he's not suffering from CTE, but the point was the fact that he was saying that he know a lot of guys that have suffered and not as lucky as he is to be able to be where he is and the age he is and not suffer from those symptoms. Ian Coeg said, I got a concussion playing lacrosse in high school. Then I was like, F this, I'm getting a job, LOL. And you know what's funny? You got to be able to think about your future, especially when you're raising kids. You want to be able to raise children in a manner to say that they can sustain themselves for the rest of their life through retirement and to be able to leave something behind for their children. Another thing that the Black community sucks at doing is the Black community sucks at leaving something behind for their children. Tommy talked about this. I always give Tommy credit whenever I hear Tommy talk about this. He talks about the fact that Black people generally will have children and hope that their children give them back something. When in most other communities outside of the Black community have children to leave their children something when they go on and pass away. Two totally different dynamics. The Black community takes from their children. Every other community gives to their children. What Chris just said is a prime example of that. And you guys will hear him talk about the fact that he had to take care of his family and he had to take care of himself. I've always believed in this. I want to be able to give my children tools in order for them to be able to take care of themselves and to be able to take care of their family. Don't take care of me. Don't worry about me. I don't care if you end up winning the lottery. I don't care if you make $8.6 million. I don't care what you make. That's on you. Take care of you. The point is for your life to be better than my life and for you to prosper and to make sure that your children have an opportunity to prosper 10 times more than what you did. That's the point. So when we talk about should your children dream bigger than entertainment, I'm a numbers guy. You have to look at the numbers and say, what are the chances? What are the chances that your children are going to make it big in entertainment, in the rap game, in sports, in any form of entertainment that is popularized, which nowadays is rap, NBA, NFL, and shit like that? That's what's popular for the Black community. And you can really narrow it down to just those three things: NFL, NBA, rapping, or trapping. But you can't count trapping as a fucking career. And that's not entertaining either. So that don't count. So when you talk about entertainment, what is the likelihood that your child, based on a number, will be successful, even if they are the best of the best of the best? The numbers say, just for you to make it through college, 17%, or excuse me, 1 in 17. 1 in 17, 5.8%. To make it to college. Then it's less than 2%, or 1 in 50 players are selected to go to the NFL. And that's not even guaranteeing that they're going to have a roster spot and be able to work their way into a successful NFL career. The average NFL career is 3.3 years. If you are making $1.9 million. That's just, let me see. 3. That is 2.7, just under $3 million. Or excuse me, no, 246. 5.7, excuse me, I read that wrong. $5.7 million in 3 years. Now, granted, there's a lot you could do with $1 million. There's a lot that you could do with $500,000. But if you're talking about somebody that was looking for this thing in order to take care of their lives, their family, their friends, and they make $5.7 million, and they're supposed to last the next 40, 50 years off of this, when they're taking care of a bunch of kids that they have, and you guys see what child support does to these people. They never take account of taxes. 1.9, you ain't gonna just get $1.9 million. Not even in endorsements. You're gonna have to pay taxes. Thank you, realist Barry. You're not taking account for taxes. And once you start making that kind of money, believe me, the IRS is gonna make sure that they get their motherfucking money. You're not talking about the shit that you buy, houses, cars, clothes, food, everyday things that you need. And more times than none, these dudes go out and go buy a big ass house, go out and buy a bunch of cars, go out and spend all their money on the most ridiculous shit. And next thing you know, they'll look up and they're filing for bankruptcy. Why? If this is supposed to be a meal ticket for the rest of your life. It's not a meal ticket for the rest of your life. It's a great opportunity that most people will never get a chance at. Jewelry. Thank you, Slapper. Jewelry. Most of them go broke very fast. You don't even think about the fact that if you just buy one big ass house, that house costs maintenance. That house is going to carry a big ass bill. And you're not even talking about the property taxes. If you make $5.7 million and you go buy a $1.5 million house, how long do you think you can afford to live in that house with just $5.7 million, knowing that the majority of that is going to go to taxes? Not the majority, but a large portion of it. Pay property taxes, pay the big ass electric bill, pay the big ass water bill, heating and air, furnishings, pots and pans, food, cleaning supplies, the clothes you buy, the shoes you buy, the jewelry you buy. If you have children, oh my God. I'll tell people this all the time. Child support is one of those things that doesn't care how much money you make. That's one of those systems that you can't just turn around and say, I'm gonna have a child and and this is what I'm paying per month. I'm paying this $1,000 per month. So I'm gonna go get a job that's gonna pay me 4 times more than what I'm making now. And then that bill is gonna end up being nothing. Because what they end up doing is they just raise your child support, which is fucked up. It is the only system in existence that it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can still end up being broke behind. How many times have you guys heard of these entertainers going broke behind child support? Kodak Black is up for $800,000. DMX looks like that child support is running him into a fucking early grave. We make fun of Tyrese all the time. Apparently, child support is putting a foot in his ass, and he is a current entertainer, and he's doing it in 2 fields. He's doing it in film, and he's doing it in music. Think about that. And he's sitting there crying and shit. What more do you want from me? Think about that. Not only in one profession, but 2. I'm going to play some more of this. I'm sorry I talked a lot, but I wanted to bring those points up.
And I'd hate to think about it, but what football has done for my family.
Also, if you talk about your family, multiply your problems. You're going to have mom. In the Black community, you're only going to have mom. You're going to have brothers and sisters. You're going to have cousins that you're trying to take care of everybody's expenses, and everybody is going to hit you up for money. Even these black mothers, these black queens that you say love you so much, is going to hit you up for some money. They're going to make you feel like you need to pay them some money. So if you talk about that, $5.7 million, average NFL career, 3.3 years, average salary, $1.9 million per year on an average NFL career salary. 3 years, $5.7 million. And you're taking care of you, your mom, and your cousins, and your brothers and sisters. And he hates to think about what his life would be if not for football. Are you serious?
I mean, what it's done for my mom.
You hear that? He said it. What it's done for who? For his black ass mama.
My mom had 7 kids before she was 25.
Taking care of 6 other siblings of his. And I'm pretty sure that if the numbers are what they are, 5.8% and 2%, what's the chances that his brothers and sisters are going to end up in the league too? NBA, NFL, or make it big in rap? What's the chances? The chances is he's probably going to be the only one in the family to make that kind of money.
Almost everyone in her life told her she was a loser and she wasn't going to be successful. But my brother playing in the NBA and myself playing the NFL, my mom went back to college.
Now, I want you guys to hear that. He said his brother made it to the NBA. So that means that one family beat the odds twice. Thank you, Realist. I'll check the email here in just a second. One family beat the odds twice of the entire world. You don't have to just worry about people in the United States. You have to worry about the entire world trying to join the NFL and the NBA. Matter of fact, now the rap game has become saturated. You have to worry about the entire world booting you out of those sectors. The best of the best of the best of the best. And one family was fortunate enough to have 2 people make it in the entertainment field. That's ridiculous.
Got her degree, went back and got her master's. My sisters, the things they have been able to do. Myself, I have been around the world, calculated 4 times with no college degree and no formal education.
But you know what's funny is if he had a college degree and formal education, he could have still did the same fucking thing.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have?
Oh, that's the point. That's the part that I wanted you guys to hear. Let's back it up. That's the part I wanted y'all to hear.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have?
Again, we're using this by way of fair use. You see it on the screen. Don't flag the goddamn video. That's important, and everybody needs to hear that. I'm going to play it again. Kyle 23, are you listening? Pete, are you listening? K, are you listening? Fair, P-Man, RC, Gretchen, Mike, Michelle, Kyle, Jason, Alabaster, Eric, Skull. Do you guys hear this? Let's hear it again.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have?
Is that not depressing listening to that? Come on, y'all. Is that not depressing? Being somebody that hears this. This is what this man is teaching other people, teaching other black people, and said it on a public airway. This is what he's teaching. And we're getting ready to open up the panel. Relationship rehab.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have?
Do we have anybody in the chat? We got 111 people watching, about 115. Does anybody out there have any form of education outside of high school? Whether that be nursing school, whether that be a trade school, whether that be truck driving school, whether it has to do with medicine, whether it has to do with your, maybe does anybody out there own their own business? Talking to 115 people out there. Does anybody have education? What, and if you do, what is your degree in? Do you have a business degree, science degree, math degree? He said CDL trainer. Michelle said me. JJ said me right here. Pete the Pirate said yes. Fit better to life. Said yes. Gretchen said yes, I do. Southern Girl said me. Alabaster said I went to tech school. Does anybody out there have a computer degree? I've studied computers in college. What's up, April Jones? How you doing, sweetheart? That's my sister April, always showing love. LV said yes. JK said yes. April said I do. Does anybody out there own their own business? Chastity said animal science. What about, oh, thank you, Michelle, a law degree. Audio production and marketing. Thank you, Pete the Pirate. Come on, guys. What do y'all do for a living? What are you guys' education in? Say it proudly. Say it loud. Say it proud. I'm black and I'm proud. No, I'm playing. But what do you guys have your degree in? What is your education background in? What are you guys doing with your life? What type of schooling or education did you guys have to get? You know, it could be anything, even along the lines of, you know, business management, marketing degrees are absolutely out of this world now. Silly Man said, I went to UTI for a while. Nothing wrong with that. Michelle said she's in law. I have a friend of mine that I grew up with. Shout out to my guy, Dan. And Dan went from being a paralegal to a full-on lawyer now. I just saw him last night in Oklahoma City. I grew up with Dan. I love Dan. Dan is my brother. He's married, got 2 beautiful children. And Dan is a lawyer now. If I ever needed to call my brother for anything legal related, I could just call him. I got his number. Always had his number my entire life. Relationship rehab said yes. Alabaster said mechanical and electrical. Southern Girl said criminal justice. P-Man said HVAC. Very important. I can't tell you how many times my dad had to call a HVAC man to come out. So shout out to that guy, man. I've seen him come out at my mom and dad's house the majority of my life. So shout out to my guy, George. Let me see. Who else? Terrion said medical. Does anybody do phlebotomy out there? Any RNs? Any LPNs? All that shit you got to go to school for. Ferris said journalism, computer advertising, and bookkeeping. How many people out there are accountants? Do we have any accountants out there? Chris Davenport said, I'm a scientist. Gretchen said, clinical medical assisting, working on an RN degree. Shout out to you, girl. You do that. Jailhouse lawyer count. Did you have to go to school for a fair? Did you have to get any level of education outside of college? You know, whether you had to go to tech school, college, community college. I've been to community college and to a 4-year university. I've been to 2 of them. And I went to a tech school. Communication studies. Shout out to Chris G. Legal assistant to an attorney. Networking administration. Does anybody out there do IT? Business and computer repair. JJ Du Bois. I see you. I see you. Heating and air. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you got an education. Kyle 23. Microcomputer technology. Nick O'Brien. There's my phlebotomist. Thank you. I graduated from ICDC College with honors. Shout out to Edwin J. What's your major? Southern Girls, CLE. Law enforcement, CDL driving, along with 3 years in college. Shout out to Dion. Now, why did I spend this whole 3 minutes? Anthony Steele, industrial science. Thank you, Anthony. Why did I spend this entire 3 minutes talking about this? I want to see who wins the grand prize before I open up the panel. Why did I just literally read what everybody does? Kyle 23 said network administration. Why did I talk about what everybody does for a living and what they have their degrees in? Can anybody tell me why? Why did I take time to talk about each and everything that somebody is out there doing? Look at that. Michelle, you are quick to show how many options there are for Black kids out there to do something outside of entertainment. What the fuck are you talking about? There are no, what options are there for Black kids? Are you serious? I got 2 children. Bullshit. Don't tell me my children only have to participate in education, or excuse me, in entertainment to be somebody successful, to be somebody that makes a lot of money, to be somebody that can take care of their whole family and friends and their legacy. What the fuck are we teaching children? Come on, Black community. Are we serious right now? Did you guys not learn something from watching the New Edition story? Those mothers put those children up for sale to the highest bidder and didn't get shit for it. Every one of them had to break off and find out this shit on their own and try to rebuild themselves into having a fucking career and having some goddamn money, and still had them in the hood. Miss Nobody? Am I yelling and cursing? The more important thing that I want you guys to ask yourselves is, am I lying? Let me know when I say something that's not true. I just want you to hear me out. That bugs the shit out of me. That really, really bugs me. But what we are teaching the Black community, teaching the Black boys, I'm sorry, Black girls got a whole different set of options that Black boys don't have. Shout out to my guy, Dave Anderson, that says he has an initiative called Black Boys Win. Look it up. He is giving back to the boys. Why? Because boys are told this lie that Chris Carter said, that what else can you do in the Black community coming up as a boy? You notice he didn't say any of his sisters are in the NFL, the NBA, any professional sports, or rapping and entertainment. I'm pretty sure one of his sisters ain't Rihanna. I'm sure he ain't have 3 out of 7 turn around and make it big out of entertainment. They had 2 out of 7, which is freaking incredible. We should teach our children to reach higher. Thank you, April Jones. It sucks. The Black community sucks how we are teaching our children what we are teaching our children to do. Teaching them that education don't mean shit. Go for where the money is. You want to know where the money is? I want to hear somebody say it. Where's the money hidden? Michelle, you've been really good at this, because she was saying a lot of this first. Let me know. Where's the money at? Kyle 23 pretty much said it. He gave you the hint. Where's the money at? Where's the money at? Money is in all of those things, but where is it hidden? How does the saying go? If you want to hide something from a black person, where's the money at? If you want to hide something, that's your final hint. If you want to hide something, thank you, Keenan. If you want to hide something from black people, where do you hide it? Where's the education? Where's the money hidden? JJ actually was a little more detailed. Keenan said it first. JJ was more detailed about it. Books and bills. I like that. You have to know the law and you have to know the books. The shit that people are teaching you in the schools is in books. I've watched countless times when people have literally just taken the books and turned around and made themselves successful without actually having to go to school to get a formal education. Because they looked it up in the books for themselves. Where's the money? The money is in the books. The money is in education. You don't necessarily have to go to school, but I think school is a great tool to use to your advantage, to be able to give you some accolades, to be able to fall back on. So if you do need to work for somebody, then you actually have something where you can prove to them and say, this is where my worth is. I've proven it in a reputable university. Here is my paper to say that I am proficient in this thing. It bugs the shit out of me how nobody calls Chris Carter out on this. That is a horrible thing that he's teaching people. And believe me, I don't give a fuck how big he is. That is a big, strong dude. I would tell him to his face, you are telling the black community and the black boys wrong. You made it. You and that 2% made it. If you just do the numbers, guys, just do the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. If you have 100% of the black community, why would you tell 100% of the black community to do something that only 2% of them can do? That's not even 2% of the black community. That's 2% of the entire fucking world. That's 2% of the entire world. They are not only taking players from the black community. How many white people do you see in the NFL? How many other races of people do you see in the NFL? It ain't just blacks. Regardless if they say the NBA is 80% black, that's still a large 20% of people that you're not factoring into the equation that ain't gonna fucking make it. And you mean to tell me that you're just telling your children that all you got to do is be better than the rest of these other 98% of people? Are you kidding me? When something as simple as an injury can literally prevent you from living out that goal, and you could be better than Michael Jordan, and as soon as you tweak your ankle or hurt your knee or have a back problem or have a medical condition that comes up, things that are not under your control, all you have to do is have something like that come up that prevents you from being able to accomplish and be in that 2%, which is already hard to do. 98%. You're going up against 98%. And you're telling me that's something positive for black people to look up to, for black children to look up to, for black boys to look up to? Fucking bullshit. No, fuck that. Shout out to my daughter. Shout out to my son. This is not what daddy is teaching you. That is not how you make it. You are not going to focus your efforts and your life into being bigger than everybody else when it comes to entertainment in order to make yourself successful. I'm sorry. Daddy is going to make sure that you have more tools than a little bit. We ain't counting on that. Nope. 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 We are not teaching our children to depend on entertainment. Because you want to know the messed up part about entertainment? It's only entertaining if people are entertained. Maybe people might fall out of love with your rap. Maybe people might not think you're so entertaining on the football field. Maybe you don't make them cuts the way that you used to make them 5 years ago. Maybe somebody comes in and they're just a 0.1 second faster than you are on the field. Maybe somebody jumps a half an inch higher than you do in the NBA. Every day somebody is exceeding what people have done before them. Every single day. But think about all the children that can tell you stories that are grown people now that used to be something, thought they were on their way to the top, and they just didn't make it. Flat out. Ain't got nothing to do with their skills and their talent. They just flat out didn't get the chance. They weren't chosen. It is a numbers game. You're looking at 100% of people that are trying to take advantage of an opportunity, and they're only saying, you know what? Thank you guys. Thank you 98% of people that came out, but these are our 2%. So if you don't have any educational background, if you did not pick up a book, if you do not have any form of formal education like Chris Carter talked about, and the NFL ain't knocking on your door, on your child's door, then what do you say to that child that has spent the first 18 years to 22 years of their life thinking they're going to do one thing, and that dream get crushed, and they have developed their entire life into this thing, and now they have to figure it out? But you wonder why the crime rate is so high. You wonder why the black on black crime murder rate is so fucking high. You wonder why the school to prison pipeline is constantly building more prisons than they are building schools. The prisons outnumber the schools. The prisons outnumber the schools. And only 2% of people of the entire damn world, 2% out of 100% of everybody every single year that wants to get into the NFL, they only take 2%. And that's not even a guarantee that those 2% are going to be shit in entertainment. Should your children dream bigger than entertainment? Michael Jordan invests in private prisons. You damn right he does. Is he wrong? If he's wrong, then everybody else that invests in private prisons is wrong too. Michael Jordan is not a fucking idol. He is not the standard of what everybody should hope to be. By no means. That's why I don't give a shit what Michael Jordan does with his money. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what you're teaching your children to do. Where are you leading your children to? What else is a black person supposed to do coming from the hood? Really? Come on, Chris Carter. You can't be that dumb. You can't be that naive. And you can't be that goddamn callous. You can't be. I refuse to believe that if I met this brother in person, he actually believes what he's saying. But you know, the sad part is he probably do. He probably does 100% believe that black boys can only be successful in entertainment coming from the hood. What's up, Packer girl? You know I always give you a shout out at the beginning of the show, sis. I got you. I'd like to thank you guys for listening to what I had to say. We are now about to open up the panel, and I'm going to replay that part for you again one last time. This is Chris Carter. We're using this by way of fair use. Let me put the fair use back on the damn screen just in case.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have? No formal education, times, with no college degree, and no formal education. My sisters, the things they have been able to do.
If y'all want the link, shoot me an email at thesotoyoudig@gmail.com. That way I don't have to look up everybody's email address. If you want on the panel, send me an email, please. Do that for me. Do that for me. Just send me just say I need the panel link. Shoot me an email, please, real quick.
Myself, I have been around the world, calculated 4 times, with no college degree and no formal education. So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America.
Also in America, this is the part that I want to resonate with you guys.
What other choice does a black man have?
You want to know why this affects black men so much? Because black men have less options than black women do. You let me know how many times that the Section 8 system, Title IV system, food stamp system, car voucher system, any of those systems, child support system, has taken care of black men the same way that they have taken care of black women. And on top of that, if you think about it, how many black men have gotten rich how many black men have gotten rich simply by just sleeping with women? When women can get rich behind that every day, showing their ass, showing how good they look, doing photo shoots, published models. Got guys wanting to fly them all over the world just for some sex. How many guys do you know that are getting flown all over the world just for women to take advantage of their bodies? How many do y'all personally know? Do y'all know any? I don't know. I don't know one person. I don't know one man that's getting flown all over the world just for people to experience him sexually. When we talk about the difference, yeah, men taking off their shirts and stuff on Instagram and stuff like that and literally have a career behind it. How many men are able to do that? I know women that are fat and pudgy in the stomach, got cellulite, that still got 10, 15, 20,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and fat. That are literally able to sell their bodies to someone. How many mediocre men are able to do the same thing? So when we talk about the difference between men and women, you have to understand that the dynamic is different. The plight that black men have is not the same as black women. It is different. And the black boys are at a larger disadvantage than black women are. They're at a much larger disadvantage than black women are, which is why you need programs like Black Boys Win in order to take care of that dynamic difference. Not even take care of it. It's just a supplement. Dave is an awesome guy. He's not going to be able to reach every soul out there. Out of 100% of the black community of boys that need the help, if he could reach 2% of them, he'd be doing a damn good job. But you're still talking about a good 98% of black boys that ain't going to get the help that they desperately need. And that ain't even his fault. That's our fault by way of the way that we're training these boys to think. The mindsets that they have. Telling them that they have to be successful in entertainment. That's the only way you're going to get it. Pick up a book. The money is hidden in the books. To the young black boys that are listening to the sound of my voice, shout out to April Jones. Tell your son that if he wants the money is hidden in the books. My sister, pass that message to your son. The money is hidden in the books. Pandorians has a quote for me, and she said that if you want good black, she said that this is a quote of mine that she wants people to start repeating. There's a quote that I started. If you want good black boys, if you want good black men, you have to have good black boys. If you want good men, you have to have good boys. If you want good men, you have to have good boys. If you want good men, you have to have good boys. Hashtag DJ Just J OK. Thank you, Pandorians. My next biggest quote I want to be is, if you want the money, if you want to find the money is hidden in the books. We'll replay this one more time and I'm going to open up the panel.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have that's better than the National Football League, that presents the opportunities economically, the influence that you have? So for me, I still encourage young people. The game is safer now than it's ever been.
Which is a lie.
Are there some drawbacks of the game that are not pretty? Yes.
So I'm not going to even play the rest of that. Y'all heard what he had to say.
So for me, the CTE thing is real. But also in America, what other choice does a black man have?
All right. We are now about to open up the panel again. Shout out to Chris Carter, because you gave me plenty to talk about.